Hello, and welcome to Not Boring English. Today, I will tell a story called The Waiting Room Surprise for learners at the A1-A2 level. If the speech is fast, please slow the playback speed to help your listening. The Waiting Room Surprise. I woke up with a pain in my throat. The pain was small at first. By noon, it was bigger. I felt tired. I had a fever. I decided to go to the doctor. I called the clinic. I made an appointment for the afternoon. I felt a little nervous. I do not like hospitals, but I knew I needed help. I drank water and I packed a small bag. I put my phone, my wallet, and a notebook in the bag. The bus ride was quiet. I looked out the window. The trees were green and the sky was blue. I tried to breathe slowly. The bus stopped near the clinic. I walked fast to the door. The clinic smelled clean. A bell rang when I opened the door. A woman at the desk looked up and smiled. She wore a blue uniform. She said, "Hello, how can I help you?" I said, "I have a sore throat and a fever. I have an appointment." She checked my name and gave me a paper to fill out. I wrote my phone number and my birthday. My hand shook a little. The woman said, "Take a seat. The nurse will call you soon." The waiting room had many chairs. People sat and read magazines. A little boy played with a toy car. An old man slept with his hat. I sat and opened my notebook. I practiced a few English sentences to calm my mind. I wrote, "I am at the clinic. I have a sore throat." A nurse called my name. I stood up. The nurse was kind. She asked me to come to a small room. The room had a bed, a chair, and a light. The nurse took my temperature with a small stick. She smiled and said, "You have a mild fever." She asked me some questions. "How long do you feel sick?" she asked. I said, 2 days. She asked, "Do you have a cough?" I said, "Yes, a little." She wrote notes on a paper. After that, the nurse said, "The doctor will see you now." I felt a little scared, but I walked to the next room. The doctor was a woman. She had short hair and kind eyes. She wore a white coat. She said, "Hello, I am Dr. Kim." I said, "Hello, I am Maria." I sat on the chair. Dr. Kim asked me to open my mouth and say, "Ah." I said, "Ah." And she looked at my throat with a small light. She said, "Your throat looks red." She listened to my chest with a stethoscope. I felt the cold metal on my skin. She said, "Breathe in and out." I breathed slowly. She smiled and said, "Your lungs sound fine." Dr. Kim asked about my food and sleep. I said I ate soup and I drank tea. I said I slept 5 hours last night. She nodded. She said, "You need rest and water." She wrote a small paper. On the paper, she wrote a medicine name and some advice. She said, "Here is a prescription. Take this medicine for 3 days. Drink warm water. Do not work too much. Sleep more." I asked, Do I need a test? She said, No test today. Stay home and rest. If you do not feel better in 3 days, come back. I felt relief. I asked, Can I take a pain pill for the fever? She said, Yes, take one when your fever is high. Before I left, the doctor touched my shoulder and said, Call us if you need anything. Her voice was calm. I felt safe. I thanked her. I left the small room and I went to the desk. At the desk, the woman smiled and told me how to pay. The price was not high. I paid with my card. She gave me the prescription and a small paper with the clinic phone number. The nurse walked me to the door. Outside the clinic, the sun was warm. I breathed the fresh air. I walked to the bus stop slowly. I felt weak, but I was happy. I bought soup from a small store near my home. The soup smelled good. I ate slowly, and I felt better. I took the medicine on time. I drank a lot of water, and I slept 8 hours that night. The next morning, my throat was less sore. The fever went down. I could speak more easily. I felt grateful for the small kindness at the clinic. I remembered the nurse and the doctor. I wrote a short note of thanks in my notebook. I like to keep small notes. I wrote, Thank you, Dr. Kim. Thank you, nurse. On the 3rd day, I had no fever. I felt strong enough to go for a short walk. I sat on a bench in a small park. A bird sang near me. I thought about the visit to the doctor. The visit was not scary after all. It was an important step to get better. I learned a few things from this day. First, it is okay to ask for help. Second, rest is as important as medicine. Third, small kindness can make a big difference. The woman at the desk and the nurse and Dr. Kim were kind to me. Their words helped me feel calm. Now I tell this story to you. If you are sick, please see a doctor. Drink water. Rest well. Ask questions when you are unsure. A short visit can change your day. I keep the paper with the doctor's advice in my bag. I read it when I need a reminder. When I think about that day, I smile. I remember the warm sun and the sound of the bell at the clinic. I remember saying, "Ah," and the doctor smiling. I remember the soup that helped me sleep. The small visit did not change my life, but it helped me take care of myself. That is a good thing. Comprehension. Questions. Now, I will ask a few questions about the story to check your understanding. Please write your answers in the comments to practice writing in English. 1. Why did I go to the doctor? 2. What did the doctor tell me to do at home? 3. How did I feel after 3 days? Thank you for listening to the story on Not Boring English. Do you have a story about a visit to the doctor? Please write it in the comments and remember to subscribe for more simple stories.